We cannot solve the world's problems with the same thinking that we use to create problems in the first place. What are the world's problems? The world's problems are poverty, unemployment. There's corporations going bankrupt, job insecurity. There's countries going bankrupt. Now, when a country goes bankrupt, you have to step back and think, wait a second. A country's full of people. People are supposed to work, right? A country is not a business or a corporation. Mankind has advanced so much, but why have we limited ourselves with the society that we built in the last 100 years? 100 years, century and a half. That society has been built on the principle of me first. Profit maximization, profits over people. We're human, okay? It's gonna happen. But the problem is that you can't change the government. You can't do it on this huge scale. People get frustrated with this, and there's protests all over the world now. Occupy Wall Street, Occupy everywhere. And people are fed up. But of course, it's not the 99%. It's a few people. And they know in their hearts that something's wrong, but they don't know what to do about it. What are we gonna do? We all have to go to the supermarket. We're all gonna eat our Big Macs. We all like our cons. So to me, the answer is people need to band together. We need to shrink it down and get full-time volunteering. What is full-time volunteering? It's doing what you believe in. You give your time, your effort, everything you do, your focus and energy to what you believe is right. And me, in my life, I believe that people are more important than profits. Now, it's easy to say, but what I've seen is amazing examples of people banding together in close-knit communities, and they help each other with their individual skills. A girl's good at ceramics. She makes the plates and the cups and the utensils of all the people in this community. Sounds like an eco-village, and that's what my next point is, that these are all examples of places that have maintained, or are at least trying to maintain self-sustainability, and the general quality is better. How should I say? You're all working for each other. You're not working for this boss that is dictating what you need to do to just survive, just to get your paycheck. And people need to think a little bit outside of that box, I think. It's not easy, but then again, it's not that hard. What you do is, okay, let me explain a little about the different examples. There's the kibbutzim of Israel. People work together on large agricultural complexes, farms, and everybody lives in the same location. This allows for frugality. You can save. And you can have your family, you have your friends. You're interacting every day with people that you generally enjoy to be around. There's eco-villages that are amazing because they're also incorporating urban technologies that, for example, say you can have a farm and your friends outside somewhere, outside in the countryside, but you can have maybe Wi-Fi or electricity with your windmill and stuff like that. That, I think, is awesome. And there's, of course, the Amish. Those guys are pretty hardcore. They've been doing it for a long time. And they're totally self-sustainable. They don't need their electricity, they got their candles and stuff, that's great. But what they're doing is they're living in a society that is based on you first and not me. And Amish and monasteries, they also have their beliefs to hold them together so that they know what they're doing it for. Me and my friends, we'd worked in various humanitarian organizations for the past few years, and we said to ourselves, we want to do something different. We started a blog in 2009, where each of us was able to talk about what goals we want to do if we were to start our own intentional community. And then a year later, we did it. We moved to Novi Sad, and we started Culture Exchange. And what that is 7 adults, 4 kids, it's me and my wife, my little boy, and the rest of my friends. We're renting a house. We're all working together. We have our individual skills. One guy is he's a really good architect, interior design, and my wife is very good at teaching children. So we said, let's start a daycare center. It's small, but it's going to do something. It'll eventually help the community to be self-sustainable. And the thing that I want to show about it is that it's not just in the countryside. That's one point I wanted to bring out, is that it's not the life for everybody, you know? You want to be in the city with your friends, you want to hang out, but that doesn't mean you can't challenge the economics of today. So at Culture Exchange, we decided, okay, we're going to have to fundraise to get our few months' rent to start off, and then, of course, probably would have to keep on doing that for a little while until we can get off the ground. So for the past year, we've run our daycare that's bringing in something. And the best part is that when you're working, you're not working just for yourself, you're working for everybody in the community. And that's what I love doing. That's why I can go to sleep at night and I'm like, I did it for others. And of course, for us. Like, we're able to at least get our basics of what we need and practice sustainability, direct democracy. Everybody decides what they want to happen, and frugality. I probably said that already. Anyways. So let's say you go in to visit us in Novi Sad. Our house is pretty big. It's 3 stories, but it's not in the center, so it's a little bit cheaper. It's in Veternik. You go into the house. On the right side, you got our daycare. It's a pretty big room. I would say half of this room. And then it was designed by one of the volunteers. He's a carpenter. He built a little playground for the kids. You go upstairs, and there's our main living and dining room. He also designed an amazing couch, and the interior is it's beautiful. And we got people who are good at cooking, people who are good with the kids, and we're just starting now to decide on future projects. We want to open a cafe in Novi Sad where we can hold workshops for promoting different ways for people to open their minds up a little bit more. And there's also a bicycle kitchen that we want to open where people can go bring their bikes. They can learn about bike mechanics. Basically, if you have a desire, something that you want to do, you can live it, and you can be with your friends. There's no boss telling you what to do, and you're able to at least maintain. You're able to how should I say, to work for each other and have the basic budget, you know, how should I say, steady. So just to close, the main thing that I want people to think about is, why do we accept the current economic and political trends as the only option? Another way of life is possible. It's not easy, but let's at least try. The world will not be destroyed by the corruption and the greed in all of us, but by those of us who do nothing about it. Thank you.